Alrighty. Is everyone good?
Start,
Yes, sir.
start,
Let's go.
start, start,
Alrighty, let's get going. Good luck, everybody. And finally,
Good luck, boys.
we're underway. After, I think that's a, a 20-minute delay, but nonetheless, better soon than never. Little bit of fun in the chat there. We've actually already broken down every player, I think, except Colin, so let's talk about him for a little bit. I was in the minute, or, the middle of talking there, but, well, we had a few issues, but yes, Colin being a very strong player. We've seen him a lot in the scrim series. He's been showing up consistently. I think he actually got the first 1v5 in the history of the community league here. It was a very impressive moment. He is a god, I agree. Incredible, strong moments here from these guys. They are just crazy players, especially Colin. I think both teams truly have their highlight players. They're both quite well organized so that they have those people in the back to support them, kind of hold them up, just like a bit of a barrier, and they have their front-lining players to go in, get the job done, and make things work. So it's really going to be a clash of heads here. No guess whatsoever as to where this is going, but either way, it's going to be an exciting game. Looking at the bans here, Mira and Monty coming out from the blue team's bans. Not a bad idea. You do see a Monty a lot when you're taking customs and ventilation, since you do need to take upstairs, and they are quite aggressive plays coming out from both sides. But not sure about the Mira ban. I haven't seen that a lot. I mean, obviously there are a few good Mira spots, but just not primarily what you would like to see here on, Armory or ventilation. The Thatcher and Maestro bands coming out from the orange team, Disfigure Gaming. I agree with those. I agree with those bands. Just nothing else to say. Thatcher, a great pick for them, especially on the defense first, looking to make sure that they can band a trick successfully without too much issue in terms of tricking back, with different lineups that they might have. Of course, Maverick's still in play, but doesn't seem like that's going to be the case this round anyway. And the Maestro band, just a common sense ban. I'd say just a very strong player. We do see him banned a lot. Why not now? Either way. Taking a look at who's playing who. Ash on the call-in. I said he played aggressive operators, and I did not disappoint. Pretty predictable pick from him, and not bad at all. I mean, he's just doing his job in his role that he is set to do. For the rest of the attack, looking like we're going to have some strong, soft breaching capabilities on the Buck and Sledge. Definitely focusing more towards possibly vertical gameplay here from the blue team. And the Twitch and Thermite to finish off the lineup. Definitely, I think those are going to be the crew to take care of Armory Wall, if that is what they have in mind. And on defense, I'd say a similarly, well lined up team with a few players kind of switching onto that support role. Smoke, Cade, Bandits really holding down the fort. We do see, that's kind of just a basic part of playing in Siege. You got to have players who do the dirty work. And that Valkyrie and Jaeger, I have mentioned this before. Valkyrie recently having her recent changes and, her gun just doing more damage now, being an incredibly strong fragger. A lot of, former Jaeger mains who have switched over to her, considering the recent nerfs to her gadget, nerfs to his speed. All sorts of things getting messed up in my brain right now. Either way, looking to be a pretty strong breakroom push here. Most of our attacker players looking to clear out quick over by the armory wall, not even thinking about going for any sort of archives push whatsoever. Now that we're finally underway, it looks like all our players are more than hungry to get things underway. Bandit getting the downstairs. Looks like he's been misdroned by the Buck out there as he drones out the Jaeger, but not the ventilation. Looks like possibly our first confrontation here coming from Twisty here as he's looking to push in and get the bandits out from underneath. Possibly not, oh no, not fully droning out the bandit here. Bandit just waiting and crushing his time, just looking for the opportunity to get the pick. Fortunately getting the first shot off, having not been droned out by the Ash, and gets the Twisty off on Buck without too many issues. Looking like in the meantime there, Thermite able to get the armory wall open as Bandit not able to play close enough. Smoke is, though, playing on that shield and getting ready to hold back the defense. looking to be the solo force here, finally getting stunned out as the ADS gives way, and Ash looking to do some crazy play here. Not sure what yet, but that is his intent. Shots just going over the heads of the defenders here. Seems like we still have some decent downstairs play, but it's not really going to matter as the first pick of the blue team goes on to the Ash as he's able to pick off the smoke of the defense. Almost a kill in the return coming from the Cade, but he's able to be picked up before much can happen. Oh, unfortunate. A Nitro coming out from the Valkyrie here. He gets a double kill and a third coming from the Cade, leaving the Twitch in a 1v4 situation. Swinging around, not even able to get one, as the Cade shutting him down before he can get any momentum underway. Round number 1 going to the defense. Very interesting. I was really feeling that attack there. I mean, we did see, you know, the first kill going over to the orange team. We didn't really see too much going on there for a little bit, you know, the blue team really biding their time, you know, and the first pick coming from the Bandit onto the Buck. It seemed like vertical gameplay was pretty much gone there, but soon after that, it seemed like things were kind of turning around for the blue team. They were able to get the wall open, a pick come from Colin here. He was able to shoot out the smoke, a big pick early in the game, but then everything just kind of fell apart after that Nitro Cell, and things just didn't happen. Either way, moving into round number 2, looks like the blue team looking to bring things back for them, trying to fight, get things underway, and possibly tie things up. A lot of debate I've heard over the past few days as to the strength of the blue team here. Truthfully, I think besides what people may believe about the strength of particular players on their team, as a cohesive unit, they're much stronger than the individual talent that may be beholden by any of them individually. I've seen them play in what they've been doing in the past few days when they do practice and the strategies that they've been trying to get underway, and I can absolutely say that what they have is rock solid. What the way that they've been working is just not bad at all. So definitely, although some people would say it's much more of a Disfigure gaming sided game here, I think it's going to be a lot closer than most people think here with the talent that we're seeing on the blue team. Anyway, preparing for the ventilation pick, absolutely the right choice to bring the Hibana here, as it's really important to get those hatches open early in the round. Fortunately, a Cade not being brought this round, but there will be some bandits holding down that armory wall. Really looks like Disfigure not ready to give up the upstairs very quickly. Definitely the right move too there, just commenting on their intellectual play. Some teams, in the moment, not wanting to deal with certain issues, deciding to focus a bit more on what they want to see and then getting mad on why it doesn't work. It's definitely the right move to confront your issues as a team and deal with them before it becomes too much of a problem, just like these guys are here. Seems like they are mostly, focusing on oh, I'll have to put that thought on hold. I was about to talk a little bit about their team composition, but Ash going all the way in, taking ventilation early and getting a wall bang almost onto the Valkyrie, getting shots off and bringing her down to half a bar. Swinging around, oh, a nice flick onto the castle. Looking for a second here. He's already lit up a second and has taken sight, ready to get the plant down with the Capitao right at his back. Unfortunately, the person at his back not being the Capitao, in fact, it's actually the IQ. Almost a wallbang onto that Valkyrie. Fortunately, a second pick coming out onto that Valkyrie from the Twitch, but unfortunately for them, re-fragged by that Jaeger playing over in customs. They still have the site, but Capitao taking a long time to get over to where they need him to be. And a second pick from Twitch. Both of these players really holding down strong, but the vertical gameplay not working in their favor as Bandit is able to get a pick onto the top fragger of the attack. Fortunately, refrag there by the IQ. It's all left up to Bandit. Stuck upstairs without sight control, still at a full bar of health, looking to get a clutch started and get underway. The last remaining hope of his team, they do have the round advantage, so it's not devastating to lose such an early round, but still wanting to get that advantage either way. Getting a lot of intel on where the attackers are, hearing a lot of places. Unfortunately, does get picked off by the Twitch. and it's going to be round number 2 going for the attackers. Again, I was saying the blue team really hoping to get things evened out before it's too late, not wanting to get in that 2-0 hole. Yeah, as I said there, a lot of these players, although a lot of people may detest their level of skill on a personal basis, they can play in the moment when they have the support of their teammate. It's really important to see people working around each other, and for some players, it's really all about the environment for them to be able to make things work, right? Like if you have players like let's highlight Nednil for an example, or formerly Official. They're the kind of players that in the wrong stack, in the wrong lineup, working around the wrong people, they really are not going to be able to make things work. But in a situation where they have people around them that are supportive, helping them out, and pushing with them, they're going to be able to make good plays. Just like last round, we saw Official get a 2K on top of the 1 kill he had the previous round. Actually, that's incorrect. He did get a 3K because he got the final kill onto the Bandit. So yeah, a 3K coming out from Official in that round, basically winning the round for his team. I think he was getting the refrags onto all the kills of his teammates and really evening the game out, making sure everything was sorted. I'm sure not intentionally, everything was just coming pretty fast, but whether intentionally or not, it was definitely his doing towards the success of that round for the attackers, and hopefully we're going to see a lot more individual play like that in the future that can help them hold their game together. Remember, this is one map elimination. If the team there will be a team that does lose, but the one team that does come short in this game will be knocked out immediately, and unfortunately, there's no losers bracket. We don't have enough teams for that. It's going to be either you go forward or you're done. So that's kind of about it. This is a do-or-die game in the quarterfinals here. We don't really have too many connections to the teams, of course, being the first game, but they're not really going to have much room to grow if they get knocked out in the first game, and unfortunately someone does have to be that team. Both teams obviously not wanting to be the early pick. It's really difficult, obviously, if you put a lot of effort into trying to make progress, and then unfortunately you're picked off before too much can happen. But that's it, there's not much else to it. Colin pushing up very aggressively again. Unfortunately, a pick coming out onto the Jackal. Not sure how that happened. Seems like Smoke is positioned upstairs, maybe shot him through the barricade. But either way, let's keep focused on Colin here, having already pushed up right to the door of server room. Gonna get this intel on the castle's location here, and is ready to make a play. Pushing right in, no fear in this man's eyes. He gets the first pick onto the castle and looking for more. His teammate refragged off by the Bandit, and a second one for the Jaeger. But he is not stopping now. Or maybe he is. Not by his mean, but either way, the pick coming out, unfortunately, as he just misses his shots, leaving it all up to Twisty in a 1v3 situation outside of Armory Wall. Able to get the wall open, but without too much support, and in a situation where he can't actually go through that hole, it's going to be a lot more difficult for him to get map control, even with a minute 20, and the diffuser in his hands. Looking to push in, I think the defense really going to be expecting that. It's not very unpredictable of him to throw his stuns before he throws. The shoulder being exposed to Evan, and he's able to get a easy SMG 11 spot from his proning position. Moving into round number 4, I think on this kind of border, it's kind of a hard call. We see border being really switched up a lot on, whether or not it's attacker or defender sided. I think we saw for a lot of year 4, border was pretty defender sided, but I think if any people in the chat remembering the OG year 3 or maybe even year 2, it was actually one of those maps that was highly considered to be attacker favored. As the meta switches, it really has been one of those versatile maps that really swings left and right a lot, so that, everything just totally being mushed together, and it's not a very stable map. It's one of those places where an operator change, a meta switch, maybe a nerf to an operator that was formerly vital could completely change the layout of how people attack this map. And going into year 5, I think we're seeing that a lot of these players, a lot of these games have actually become more attacker-sided. Recently, with the changes of, the addition of the Kali, of the Wame, just the way that things have been changing, buffs and nerfs, things have become attacker-sided for whatever reason, even so slightly, and it seems to be moving more and more in that direction every day. Either way, though, I don't think that's something I would want to apply specifically here. I'd say for the sake of this game, it's worth to just say it's pretty attacker, or just, pretty even. It's an even match, let's say. So, on my predictions, I would say from the way things are going here, it's probably going to be a 3-3 split. Seeing these both teams are pretty well matched for each other, having those individual highlights coming out from each of them. I don't see a reason why they're not going to be able to just meet each other at the neck and put themselves in a 3-3 unless something crazy happens. After all, it's not going to be 3-3 forever. Some team has to go into the lead. So it can't just come down to one after the other. One action or another is going to drastically switch the course of the game. All that's left is to question at what time an action like that may occur. Going to be a pretty diverse attack here coming from the Vibe Squad here, looking to attack both from that armory wall and now from Arca is trying to switch up the way that they're planning to push the map. Definitely good to keep the defense on their toes, make them think about where they're actually pushing. Valkyrie is in position to reject that push, and they have reinforced all of Triple Wall, making things a lot easier to hold down Office. But either way, with enough manpower, not much utility can stop an actual live player. And the first pick coming up from Colin as he gets the pick onto the roaming bandit below. Unfortunately, refragged quickly by the Jaeger as he gets picked off, not seeing him so close, right up in his chest. Still, the strong push coming from the attackers over on the east side of the map. Not going to be deterred by the quick confrontation coming down from the two players in Workshop. Valkyrie going to be taking a gunfight here with the Ying. Unfortunately, looks away at the wrong time, and Ying's able to take vital ground against the defenders. Throwing his Yings in, he's taking sight for his teammates. Really vital here, and a second pick coming out from Nednal as he picks off the player in Archives. Now, the Diffuser on the Thermite coming in, ready to get the plant off, as there's no one in Archives and not much to stop them from getting stuff done. The Cade holding down a little pixel angle. He's going to have to swing out to get this pick here, but unfortunately, the stun is going to absolutely deter him right away. And both the remaining defenders being stuck in Armory, not much to do in terms of refrags. One kill coming out from the Cade, but it's going to be instantly taken back as the Cade is able to pick off one. But he's not going to be able to stay alive for long as he is shot down by Nednal in the hallway. I think that was either a 2K or a 3K for the Capitao of Nednal. Either way, a very nice play from him as he closes out the site and allows everything to just settle down and just play passively. You know, once you have that much site control, all that's really left to do is hold angles, get the plant down, and suddenly you're on defense, if you think about it like that. The attackers gain the advantage that the defenders once held once the bomb is placed. Anyway, going into the 5th round here, anybody's game at this point, although if we do look at the way things have been going for the past few games, I would say probably going to swing back the pendulum onto a defense round. As they are returning to Armory, they have been very strong here on holding down that wall, and they've been able to frag out pretty quickly between players, right? They're not really leaving too much room for discomfort in their part, really squeezing out the life of the Vibe Squad. Disfigure Gaming not giving any room whatsoever in terms of failure. Making sure everything's closed out. They're holding down sight as usual. They have all the basics covered. That's not the issue here when we look at the orange team. I think what it's really coming down to is just momentary lapses of attention that are being exploited by the blue team right before they can really capitalize on any sort of advantage they might have had from their utility.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
Looking to be a strong Valley push again. Seems like almost 4 of the players pushing from Valley, possibly going to be taking break room here. Twisty again deciding to go on his own over to the other side of the map. Maybe doing an Archives window, maybe doing some sandwich, who knows. Looks like, though, he's going to be joining his teammates downstairs and looking to clear out bottom first before they move onto the second floor. Similar tactic coming every single round from the defense. Although Buck possibly going to be putting a hole in their plans as he is able to take downstairs very quickly, and it seems like Colin has determined the location of one of the roamers and is looking to push him out. The first frag goes to Buck. Unfortunately, I was about to say the second for the attack, but a easy kill into the hands of the attack is suddenly flipped around as Function wins the gunfight unexpectedly and is able to continue living for the meantime. See a little bit of confrontation here coming between the Smoke and the Ying. Seems like there's also the IQ there holding down. No, that's not the IQ. That is the Thermite out there getting ready to do a tag team onto the Smoke here and possibly take Armory Wall. But it's not going to be of much use as Smoke has that deployable shield and those ADSs to support him. So for the time being, all of the attack having rotated out and taking break room, holding down until the last moment so that they can find some other possibility of taking that Armory Wall. Just a quick intermission for those in chat wanting to subscribe or move in that direction of supporting the Discord and allowing us to do fun tournaments like this in the future. Just follow us for now. That's the best thing you can do as we move towards a Twitch affiliate program and allow the possibility for higher quality streams, better VOD retention, a delay to help us with the problem of stream sniping, although we haven't really seen any issues so far, all our players going by a code of honesty. But the best thing, if you get us to a Twitch affiliate, I think we're only 20 follows away now, we're going to be able to get those Twitch Prime subscriptions and support the stream, giving us some financial gain and helping us out a lot. So, for the time being, that's the best you can do. Focusing back on the game now, Jaeger able to get a second pick onto Twisty after earlier call, getting a third now. A very nice pre-fire onto the player. Unfortunately, shut down by Buck. Sorry, I said player. It was actually the Capitao that he killed there. For more specific information, still a lot of sight control coming from Thermite. Not going to be held for long, though, as we see Valkyrie shutting him down with the Nitrocell. All left up to the Buck here, and it seems like from what we saw in earlier rounds, the predictions staying true, and the formula that we've seen in the last few rounds. It's going to be another defense round as Evan shutting down the Buck in the last few seconds and winning themselves the 5th round in the game. So by the pattern that we've been seeing here for the last few rounds, it's going to be probably a blue round. I don't want to call it, but we have been seeing back and forth from these guys, so I'm assuming it's going to be a round for the blue here, if they continue by their tic-tac-toe kind of attitude that they've been going at. Anyway, seeing here on the attacker lineup, I'm thinking what we're seeing here is a lot of changing parts here. I think the blue team not really sure, sorry, the Vibe Squad, I apologize. The Vibe Squad not really sure where they're going to be landing here for their switch onto defense. This is the last round of the half, and trying to make a imprint, trying some new stuff, and trying to take Disfigure Gaming by the feet, trying to just do some new things that they're not going to be ready for. It seems like the basic gameplay that we're seeing from from Disfigure Gaming is very strong on its own and is able to counter out, the basic plays that you would see, or the predictable operator picks from the blue team. So I think they're figuring out slowly, the Vibe Squad being, that their best opportunity to try to get some rounds on the board is to do things that we wouldn't really see normally, unexpected plays. which I can't disagree with. I think it's a good idea for them to try to bring new operators, bring different gadgets to the board, different abilities, and maybe just disrupt the flow, disrupt the comfort that we see from the defenders here. After all, they have stratted this, they know what they're doing. They're able to hold down the site very clearly with practice, so they have a set plan that they're following by, and it's helping them deal with specific pushes, specific operator picks, but that isn't going to be able to plan for, you know, different operators that you just can't really plan for, like an IQ pick or a jackal. You don't see that a lot, or I mean, you see the IQ a lot, but some operators just are less played than others, and most people wouldn't incorporate them into a strategy, so bringing them is a great way of just making people rethink how they want to, you know, hold down a site. Looks like Colin going to be going for the entry again as he's drawing out the site, getting that intel on where his opponents are in Workshop, and getting ready for another monstrous push onto the site. Seems like most of the players there storing up outside of Workshop there, getting ready for a push. A few of the defenses roamers being far over the map, which is a gross misinterpretation of where they think the attack may be pushing. Colin just waiting for the perfect opportunity to go in and try to wreak havoc among the defenders. The smoke having held his cross from the hatch earlier, now moving away to Armory, and we're just waiting for the perfect opportunity here for Colin to be able to make his move. Looking to go for the swing here, getting ready for the push. Castle holding him closely, and IQ moving around. It's mostly an upstairs hold from the defense, although it looks like here the Habana and the Twitch looking to clear that out for them. Oh, possibly a move here from the Ash, just playing really slowly, waiting for things to happen. Oh, the first pick coming from the smoke here as he looks through and kills the Twitch playing in Archives. That is one of the top players. Oh, a miskill on my part from the Ash, but is quickly refragged by the Castle after a long-awaited push. A second pick coming from the defense as Jaeger's able to pick off the Habana of upstairs. Now it's all left up to the Jackal on Archives window and IQ holding in Customs in a decent position to push site, both of them at good health. But without Diffuser right now and at 45 seconds left on the clock, it's going to be difficult to make this work unless they can really start winning their gunfights exponentially. IQ slowly pushing up, probably going to be able to get the pick onto this Jaeger if he doesn't reveal his location. Unfortunately, shooting a bit too early before he peeks around the corner, and it's just about it for the attack as 20 seconds left on the clock without Diffuser. Jackal in a 1v4. It's going to be a 2-4 split for the orange team, or sorry, blue team. 2-4, 4-2 for the blue team. Wow, I just cannot get my words together right now. Anyway, without even one pick coming on the board, it seems from the Jackal, he's going to be taken out by the Castle, and the split finally coming. Let's hope that the blue team has what it takes as the Vibe Squad move into the second half in a 2-4 split. Hopefully going to be able to bring this back. I'm not sure if the blue team is going to be able to match the level of skill that we saw in the strat making from Disfigure Gaming. After all, having played together much longer than I think the lineup for Vibe Squad has, knowing their strategies much better and having, I assume, dried run it, as they are very smooth with the way that they've been playing that, I don't think that we're going to see a level of setup even close to what we saw from Disfigure Gaming. They have everything lined up, and I think the blue team's learning on the spot, so it's not going to be the same level of professionalism. It's really going to be more down to individual gameplay to bring these guys through rounds. Fortunately, it seems, though, the orange team, I think, from what we've seen in these past few rounds, their timing isn't exactly great. We haven't really seen too many of them playing in a way that makes you think that they're able to judge what's going on in a game ahead of time at an intensity that is good enough to judge gameplay decisions on and then act on it. We're not seeing that. What we're seeing here is they're playing via their, individual idea that they've made before game. They're not really taking decisions off of what's going on in the game in the moment. So it's hard to say whether or not they're going to have that cohesion on attack here, because you definitely need to be pushing as a group, as we saw several times from the blue team. And if these guys aren't able to pick the timing correctly on that, if they're not able to push at the same moment from different pots, different places around the map, they're not going to be able to secure rounds very easily, even against a setup as janky as we're seeing here from the blue team. Although the operator choices are correct, not seeing any particularly glaring issues coming from the blue team here. Still not as much utility as we were seeing on the other defense. Little spawn peek coming out from Medically, hoping to get a early wallbang. Unfortunately, that 1 in a million shot did not land, although it was slightly close and a few bullets going to Jackal. Or actually just one. All the orange team just droning out the map, looking to clear out those roamers. Seems like Morrow has been spotted out early in the round, not able to continue his downstairs roam, and being picked off early from that perspective, having to move around and being droned out again. It's going to be left down to him and the Buck in a little gunfight here. Seems like Buck has overshadowed his position. Oh no, Valkyrie in the perfect position to get the pick on him, but just not. Oh, there we go, finally. Valkyrie having missed him a few times, but able to get that refrag on the earlier pick we saw onto the Jaeger from Armory Wall. Another pick coming out from the Zofia. Twisty falling with the Cade. There is some hallway play here coming from Colin. Actually, no, he's going over to Archives. Seemingly afraid of the Buck below, able to open up the floor. A second pick coming out from Easy here, opening up the walls. Actually, no, he was below and able to get that pick, I assume, from the hatch. Things are not looking good here for Vibe Squad. Losing players back and forth, still a round or two below their opponents, and now the Armory Wall getting opened up. It's really just not going to look great for them if they're not able to get this round with at least some certainty, with only one frag being brought back, and even at that, not a real gunfight from behind. Unfortunately, not even gonna get started there. We not even close to quick enough to talk about, as Evan able to pick off both of them very quickly, or seemingly just one, as the other one is picked off by the IQ from below with the scanner. A yikes indeed. That was definitely not the ideal round for their first defense with Vibe Squad. I would have liked to see a lot more intensity from them there. I would have liked to see... I don't know what I would have liked to see. It seemed like whenever there was a gunfight between the orange team and the blue team, I don't know. I would have liked to see them make a play that was a little bit stronger, a little bit more cohesive, just make things work a little bit better, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. Still plenty of time, though, if they're able to switch things up on defense and make a bit of a better go of things. Absolutely still time to come back. It's not match point just yet, and hopefully they're going to be trying to delay that as long as possible. Even if they could get to themselves a 4-5 before match point is ensued, they'll be close enough where they have kind of a disparative factor so that they can get up to that 6-6 and bring it into OT. Either way, though, ideally, they're going to be able to win all of their ensuing rounds without even one failure if they're able to find a new strategy that works a little bit better than what they've been doing so far and smash their competition without worry. Seems like the defense holding a lot stronger here, doing a lot more to hold down the site, really working a bit more cohesively, and maybe some bullet holes coming in here from Colin as he holds down the wall. Medically setting up over on top of the Archives cabinet file here, possibly going to be his game-long angle as he sets up. Unfortunately, the problem getting up there early in the round is that people are going to spot you out really quickly, and you're going to be exposed and ready to a pre-fire from ventilation. So, not exactly the smartest move to get up there early. Little does Colin know his bullet holes on that armory while going directly onto the head of a far ensuing attacker out on Valley, if his bullets had infinite penetratability. Fortunately for the attack, they do not, and the attack goes on as normal. Jackal looking to clear out the break room, and Sophia going for the breakroom push as well, seemingly repelling up as he notices Jackal pushing without much help on that side of things. Thermite also being in a similar position. Seems like they're going to be ready to get the wall there pretty soon. Colin holding down, looking to bandit trick this round. Going to be much more effective than the previous round as he is actually playing near the wall and ready to make things happen when they need to. Little bit of roaming here coming from Moore as he holds down by East, getting ready for push. Unfortunately, he's a bit late on the uptake as attackers having already come into the map, taking break room and getting a pick onto Twisty in the first minute of the round. So pretty strong strikes of site presence coming in here from the defense, not being too weakened yet. Oh, Valkyrie shooting a bit early, not able to get an easy pick on Jackal as it would have been if he had waited a few seconds longer. Seems like Buck coming up here behind, looking to clear out, and IQ playing below again. A lot of vertical presence here from the attackers. They're really able to cohesively attack these sites here. I'm really quite impressed with their ability to take out the round, just pull things out and make things work. Fortunately, Moru able to get his first frag here onto, not of the game, obviously, of the round. His first kill of the round onto the Thermite, a big pick. Unfortunately, getting it Jackal tracked just a few seconds later, and his position exposed to the players outside, getting pushed here from the window, and already at low health, possibly going to get picked off as he gets tag teamed from several angles, and he will be. Jackal able to get the shot off and put us into a 4v3 for defense. Pick coming out from the IQ. Seems like Nednal holding down with the Goyu, the only remaining player in Archives, or anywhere near Archives, the last two playing over by Armory. Fortunately, he's going to be able to get that pick without too much worry. No health coming back onto his part. Getting squeezed all around here, though. Hopefully his teammates are going to realize that he needs help pretty much soon, or pretty much right now, actually. That's going to be what's happening. The plank going down on Archives, it's going to be quite hard to defend here. Jackal getting a pick onto the Bandit of Colin, putting us in a 2v3 and not even refragged. Goyo swinging out the angle, just barely missing the attackers as they run out. Oh, he's going to be going for a speed defuse, but IQ still within closing distance, almost getting that wallbang there. It's all lift up to medically on the smoke as he tries to keep his team from going into match point, but it's a vile effort, and he is in pretty much the shit here, not really looking great for him. Oh, gets the first pick onto IQ, but is missing out on the Buck, and not even trying to turn around. Evan is able to close out the round for his team, putting the orange team into a match point. 6-2 for Disfigure Gaming. Really not looking strong for Vibe Squad right now. If they're going to do anything, it's got to be right now. Really not much else to it. There's no other way to put it. If they want to make this work, they've got to do it now or never. Colin being such a strong fragging force for his team in the first few rounds, having dipped down recently, and it seems like we're not really seeing those outstanding plays that we wanted to see from the blue team later in the game. Seems like maybe just getting tired down, their energy level not where it needs to be making these incredible plays. If they can get some momentum, maybe there's a chance. But I doubt that the orange team is going to be giving them any opportunity whatsoever to relax, rest, and rethink their situation. I think what they're planning on doing here, and what's probably going to happen, is they're going to smash the Vibe Squad into the ground before they have even a millisecond to think about their current situation. And unless they are able to dodge that blow and get around on the board, I don't think that there's much hope left for the blue team. But you never know. So let's wait and watch and see if they're able to pull out any plays before it's too late. Some upstairs gameplay from the Smoke and Legion. That's what I like to see. That's what you should be doing on this point of the game. When you're playing Ventilation, you've got to have that upstairs presence ready to hold for that downstairs play. And at the same time, be ready to defend your ground upstairs. A lot of smart attacking teams will start at the top, as you should, and work their way down, clearing out all of that upstairs space before it's too late.
5 seconds left. Attackers objective.
Looking to be mostly a west side push. It could be a rush here. It seems like all of them, yes, the entire team of the orange team pushing from a strong west position here, looking maybe to go hard and fast. Hard to say at this point. They could play it slow like usual, but considering they were all in a similar position, it could be quick and hard from detention here. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe the team changing their mind here, deciding that they would rather take armory wall, all of them rotating up and droning out the site, getting ready to fight for that armory space rather than starting at detention and starting at the top. That's what I'd like to see. A lot of site presence here from the defenders, but that's not where the attack's going to be. What we need to be seeing here is more people playing by armory. That's, after all, what's going to be going down right now. That's where the action is. Seems like all three of them ready to push in here, close on the armory wall. Just waiting on the drones here. A frag from Mora is able to pick off the Zofia of the attack, but it's not going to be nearly enough to make anything significant happen right now. Almost a refrag coming from the Habana onto Twisty, but barely headshots missing, and the Bandit going for a Nitrocell run out. Unfortunately going to be missing the balcony by a significant margin, and a refrag coming from the sledge of the attack is able to pick off the Legion and put Smoke on an island here. He is going to be the only player remaining for the upstairs hold of the defense. In a sense, already evening the game out, preparing for his ensuing death as he's able to get the pick onto... Oh, wow, a second pick from Twisty. He's really holding down the upstairs for his team, doing one of those individual plays that I was talking about. This is what you need to be seeing if you want anything to be working in your favor. But, unfortunately, going to get shut down before too long. Still a man advantage for the defense, but nonetheless, Smoke not going to be living to see another day. Remaining attack coming from the sledge and IQ of the attackers. Easy Clap and Evan hoping to close the game out before too much longer. Absolutely, they are not wanting to play another round and give any chance whatsoever for the Vibe Squad to hold together and get some confidence back. This is their best chance, I think, to close the game out, and it's looking to be closer to that than we formerly thought. The one roamer of the upstairs, the Jaeger, falling to the hands of Evan on the sledge, putting us in a 2v2 with 30 seconds on the clock, and Diffuser in the hands of Disfigure Gaming. Sledge just missing Colin there, holding in the corner, looking to get a really aggressive peek here onto the vertical plays. Medically holding down in workshop. Seemingly they're getting ready to either drop the hatch or go to window. Hard to say. Looks like it's going to be the window and top. We're getting the best of both worlds. Unfortunately, Bandit able to get the pick with the diffuser, and that's pretty much going to be round, as there's not much that Evan can do here, unless he was able to get that pick, which he is not. For the first time in a while, the blue team, Vibe Squad, getting around on the board in a very close encounter, and putting us at a 3-6 round split. Not too shabby. A good effort there coming from the orange team. They absolutely tried their best in the final moments to close the game out, but either way, not able to finish in time. Unfortunately, running out of time in the last few seconds as the round goes towards the defense, and Colin on the Bandit, able to get that first pick under the Habana, being vital towards getting the round in their favor. Moving into round number 10, it's still on the wire for the blue team, but I think they're feeling a little bit more confident. Usually we see this from players like this, you know. They had that round, it was on the wire, they haven't won in a little bit, confidence is at a low, and then finally they get a round on the board, and it's pretty much all or nothing. Either they continue winning or the game's over. Considering this is a best-of-1 elimination round, there's not too much else that they can hope for. Obviously, they won't be doing that get-to-the-grand finale quick scheme that we see a lot. We're not going to be seeing them right away in our Sunday grand finale, but just to hold on in the tournament would be awesome for them. But it's hard to say if that's what's going to happen here. As I said, Disfigure Gaming is a really strong stack here. They're working really well together. They've got a lot of good team chemistry. They're getting all of the necessary utility out of the way on attack, and they were doing the opposite on defense, absolutely being the equivalent positive for the defense side, getting everything down. They're really strong working together, and they're also doing a lot of really great individual plays, especially Evan here, highlight of the moment. Going 13 and 4 for his team, a hard buck main, and definitely holding things together for the boys. Disfigure Gaming, again, looking to close things out before it gets too far out of hand in the Vibe Squad comeback. Again, spawning all west and pushing inwards. Seems like we're going to get another armory wall take here from the Thermite. Droning out that Mozzie and looking to find those other roamers. Seems like he's going to be finding that Jaeger in a few seconds here. Unfortunately, missed drones and doesn't see him, but that shot will be enough to alert his position, and the Jackal ready to get that frag onto him, getting on that drone and getting ready. Noticing his drone is gone, he will see, or will predict that there is someone playing in customs, and warn his teammate playing over on the window. Oh, a close shot from the Jaeger, but unfortunately none landed. A few on him, though, bring him down to just over 25 health. Getting Zophia'd out. The pellets missing, though, and he is trapped in a corner. Not much to do at this point, just wasting time for his team, as he hopes that he can maybe even get one frag to even out the scoreboard before he's picked off. Unfortunately, not taking a look at his right, as Jackal's able to push in and easily take him out before things get too out of control. Twisty holding down their rotate here, keeping them locked into break room if he's able to win his gunfights, holding that doorway and maybe hoping to push up in a few seconds depending on his confidence level. Medically going to be holding down that wall on his own right now, going to be the only one close up. And a second kill coming from Function onto the Castle of Nednall. Finally a refrag from Twisty as he's able to pick off Jackal, or sorry, no. Yeah, Jackal. He's able to pick off Pyre on the Jackal and put us into a 2v4, but it's already looking dire. Colin holding down upstairs just barely. They're getting a lot of downstairs presence here too. Really not quite sure what to do. All that's really going to save them at this point is some incredible fragging from either one of these two players, being the fraggers of their team. And it's going to start here, hopefully, as the first kill almost coming out from the Legion, but it's looking even more hopeless as Colin gets picked off by the Buck and the plank goes down. Almost a certain win for the Orange team. It would absolutely be incredible to see Twisty pull this out, but I'm sure as his teammates are telling him in his ear, it's pretty much all over. The Orange team looking to close things out, not taking any chances, all of them just holding angles and making sure this game is at a close. And that's when you know a game is really over. It's always hit or miss if a team is, running at him, trying to take the kill really quickly, being greedy, but this team just not like that right now. They're really just trying to be safe and make sure that they get that win for certain, and that's what it's going to be. Not even able to finish his down kill, Zofia closing the game out, and Disfigure Gaming winning their first match in the qualifiers, 7-3, moving on, assumedly, to the grand finale, depending on how closely the other games win their games. It depends, but good games in the chat, and F for Vibe Squad as they get knocked out of the elimination bracket.